Michael.
And I'm Sammy.
We're back with Puppers Corner, and it's been about 3 weeks. I went on vacation, and then I think you had babysitter issues one time.
Yeah,
so,
I did.
Hey, life happens. We're back. And we have a topic that kind of is front and center for us. Children's safety in a home with a dog or other children that are exposed to our dogs. So
Yep.
We're going to dive right in. So we kind of brought up this topic because you had an issue with that. So
Yep.
fill us in there.
All
We
right.
talked about it, I think, a little bit before, but
Yeah, because we've talked about swings. So for those that don't know, I have a border collie named Daisy. She's pretty fantastic. Well, one time she got hit with a swing. My nephew was just swinging and just happened to bump into her. Not a big deal, except she got hit with the swing, so she whipped around and she bit him. Not cool. But ever since then, she's had like some PTSD around swings, and so since then, she has bitten two more of my two nieces, and then she bit my nephew again. So she's bitten a total of 4 times. Not good. She bit my toddler once, but it wasn't like a bite. Like, it was different. It was gentle, and it was like slow. Like, she was right in front of us. It was like she was trying to pull him off the swing, and we were like right there, and we're like, no, stop. And then she did it again, like, no, really, let's get him off the swing. So it became an issue because you can't have your dog going around biting kids.
it can be dangerous for the kids, obviously, and the dog, because if it happened to, I mean, your sister's one thing, but if it was a stranger and that,
it could be bad.
If you get the wrong person.
If my sister wasn't as understanding and willing to listen,
right,
then it could have been bad as well. Because she could have, if she wanted to, she does have the power to do something about it, and I could have had to have euthanized my dog.
Right, I'm not 100% sure of the rules in Oklahoma, but
yeah,
I'm sure there are different leniencies
in each state.
But yeah, you could get sued.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
From what I've been reading about and just kind of about your situation, you can actually train them. It's like reversing their anxiety about that object. So you have a kid swinging and you have them on the leash. You make them sit and wait and make them stay in one spot while they, obviously you have them with a leash.
Yeah.
But you sit there and let them watch someone swing.
Yeah, I would probably have my husband do the swinging.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Kind of about 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess they figure out that swing's not the big bad monster. And so apparently it's an issue for other people because
it is. It's
there's quite
well
a bit
talked
on
about.
Yeah, the swing thing.
And I read like a whole thing about it was like, where someone comes in and they put their problem, and then other people do their like, oh, this is what I think and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a forum, like an online forum. Yeah.
Well, the very first thing they said was, they're like, so I have a border collie. I don't know if that's important. And then they said their story, and it was identical to mine. And one of the people who commented was like, well, saying it's a border collie is number one, because apparently sometimes that could also be a form of play, an aggressive type play. If she hadn't have been hit by a swing before, when it all started, then I might think it's the play thing. And I guess it's a form of she's trying to herd the swings.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're super smart, and then you mentally stimulated.
Yeah.
And I also saw that you can build your own, like...
I saw that.
What you call it?
Agility
course. And that you can... The one I saw, you can fold them up and put them in your garage or whatever when you're not using them.
Daisy would love that.
Oh, yeah.
She would eat that up.
It would be a good time together, like 10, 15 minutes in the yard, training her how to do that. I think that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I mean, already right now, like in front of like the treehouse, kids' treehouse, you can just tell her up, and she'll go up the treehouse, and then you tell her to go down, she'll slide down the slide.
She would love it.
Yeah, she would love an agility course just for her.
I wanted you to film her doing that. I would love it.
Okay.
She could win competitions too.
She could. I was thinking about that a couple months ago. That'd be something fun to do with her.
And then just in general, with we got an article about infants, but I would just want to give you my experience. I have a 19-year-old. They know better, and the 12-year-old does well with the pups. But I have a 9-year-old and 7-year-old, and they're adopted, so I haven't been training them all along to how to deal with dogs, because you have to kind of let the kids know dog behavior is different than humans, and that two of the things they do is like they'll grab their ears and then bring their face right in on, right up.
Put their eyes together.
Yes, and that's to us, it's a very cute and
Lovey type
lovey
thing.
thing, but to a dog, that's like you're like challenging them.
Yeah, and I didn't know that until we were doing research for this
Yeah,
article.
yeah. So that's super challenging and aggressive to a dog,
And
and
hugging.
yeah, and so that our dogs have not bit them yet is a show that they have some restraint because apparently that's a no-no. And then the other one is the hugging. They don't like hugging.
I didn't know that. I hug Daisy all the time, and I always thought she liked it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, that's why she gets
They
so
like-
still,
yeah,
because she's
they like-
probably like, stop.
They like with their chest rubbed and their belly rubbed, and
Not to be hugged like
yeah,
that.
they need their little space.
And then kissing their face. I mean, I've done that for forever, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good thing
Yeah.
from what we've read. So.
Right. And then also, so you're learning something too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not just the kids. And then they also, like our Angel is our youngest. She's a girl, obviously. She's 7, and we have a lab at home, a black lab, and she like just gets on top of him and wallers him. Apparently that's a big no-no too. And I knew that, and I tell them all the time, don't do that. So, and then of course, don't let them grab their dog bowl and things like that. So you just got to teach your younger kids a little bit of dog behavior, and they'll be fine. And then of course, just keep an eye on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more about that?
I know Daisy used to growl whenever like anyone would get around her when she was eating. And I know you're probably not supposed to, but she got in trouble for doing that, for growling at us. And then I started having Eli put the dog food in her bowl.
Yeah.
And anytime I give her a treat, Eli gives her a treat.
Yes,
Eli's 2, and it has built their relationship a lot better.
Yes, that, and you can kind of work with, if they have that aggression about food, you can just like grab their bowl and hold it, and then just move it while they're eating.
Yeah.
And that kind of helps with that. Toward now, we have one that's very aggressive with that, and we're working with her, and it's better now. So
that's good.
Yeah, you can work with them on that. So before I dive into like the infant stuff, just going through a couple of news stories about the pig ears. So
yeah.
Apparently there's been a bunch of them that have salmonella. They just gross me out having them lay around the house. So we don't
buy them either.
And then you've seen the penis sticks. Have you seen those?
No.
So by where you can get the dog ears and stuff, they actually have the bull penis sticks.
Is that really what it is?
I'm serious. Yes, it's a dried up penis. Yeah. But that kind of, that's just like, that's gross. But I guess because of where they get the source material for this, they get salmonella, a lot of salmonella.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to pinpoint it, like which company or anything like that. So it's all of them.
Yeah, so
it's gross. And it's not just your dogs. Like, they don't have to eat it to get salmonella. You touch it and give it to your dog, you can get salmonella.
And those treats are so expensive. You can just roast chicken breast and cut them into little cubes.
Yeah.
And my dogs love those as treats. Just little cubes of chicken.
That's the best treat.
Yeah, they will recite physics and calculus for those.
I would like a video of that, please.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so now we're talking about these are some basics about safety for children and infants especially. So as they're toddlers and infants, it's the articles I've read said just never leave them alone. I mean, that's common sense, but if you think about it, if you need to go to the potty or something really bad,
I mean, I leave them alone all the time.
Yeah, so.
But I read that and I was like, it freaked me out a little bit. Yeah. I was like, whoa. Yeah. But I understand. I mean, because a toddler could just pull a tail or something like that.
Or they're making noises. They're not really talking. And so the dogs don't associate them as a human.
They think of them as something to play with.
Yeah, another animal or prey. Their prey drive can kick in with that. So
you got to be careful.
Just something to be careful about. And we talked about teaching the children basic dog behavior. We talked about that already.
Yep.
Don't lay or waller on the dog. Hugging is a very dominant behavior to a dog, and face-to-face or direct eye contact is supposed to be a no-no. I do it, but I'm the alpha at home, so. Okay, so acclimating your dog with an infant. So you got this new little human coming home. Let's see what it talks about. I'll link all these articles in the show notes so you don't have to write or anything. Acclimate your dog as early as possible to all the baby stuff. Mm-hmm. So, before the baby comes, you're getting them, cribs and stuff, and you probably already have all your strollers and all that stuff. So having that laying around and then acclimating the dog to all that, they'll realize that this is the new normal for it.
Yeah, and they say sooner rather than later. So if you wait till like 2 months before to do stuff, that doesn't give your dog very much time.
Yeah. Have a safe place for your dog to go where the kids aren't allowed. That's a big one for us. It's our master closet is where the dogs can go to get away from our 7-year-old fiend. She's a sweet girl. She's just, the dogs sometimes get annoyed with her. So
because she wants to love on them all the time.
Mm-hmm. So they're allowed in our room in the closet, and the kids can't go in there. So the next one is with the baby. When the baby comes, it's kind of stressful for them. There's noise and new noises and smells and all this. So you make it a good association with the baby smells and the sound. Like if the baby starts crying, you give the dog a treat. So they go, oh, when that baby's around, I get treats. So it's a good thing to have the baby around because they're getting positive rewards, I guess. So I don't do it. I mean, I don't think about all this stuff. Do you?
Well, what we've done with
when I had toddlers, I didn't have dogs. So
yeah, well, I mean, every time that we were gonna bring a baby home at the hospital, the first little hat they wear, I always send that home with my mom because she always has Daisy.
Okay.
And then Daisy gets to smell all over that hat and stuff for 2 days before we get to see Daisy. And then Daisy meets the baby, and she's like, "Oh, that's what that smell was."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting, and I didn't think about this. Do not discipline the dog when the child is in the room. So they could associate that getting in trouble with the baby. So the dog could associate negative consequences with the kid. So that's something I never thought of that
till I read this, and I was like, oh, okay.
And then this one makes sense to me. Keep your dog's routine that it was before as close afterwards as you possibly can. So if you walked him at 5 o'clock, walk him at 5 o'clock.
Otherwise, I feel like they could get built up aggression against the baby that took everything from them. Instead,
my routine has changed.
Just add to the family.
And so that all dogs can be aggressive, but I have found a list of 10 that are very family friendly dogs. So we'll just kind of go through that and pull that up here. Give me just a second. I should have had it already pulled up, darn it. I'm getting back in the swing of things. I went fishing in Canada for 2 weeks. I want to take dogs, but the travel up there would be
it would take you twice as long.
Yeah,
because you'd have to stop for potty breaks.
Yeah, I stop quite often though. Anyway, okay. So the 10 greatest dogs for families with kids. So number 1 on the list, Labrador Retrievers. I can definitely attest to that. So like I said, we have Angel Wallers all over. Jackson, our 2-year-old lab, and he just lays there and lets her.
That's awesome.
So he's very, very meek and mild, and like I said, will do anything for treats, and easily trainable for sure. And closely related to them are golden retrievers. They're basically labs with long hair.
Yeah, they're cute.
They are. And they're very. We have a friend that has had one for years.
I know one named Bullet.
Yeah, they're super cool dogs.
They are.
Poodle. I would not have thought of that. I thought they were kind of.
I thought they were aggressive.
Yeah, high strung, but
apparently not.
Here, let's read and see what they say. One of the smartest dog breeds, gentle, easygoing, and patient.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hardly shed, low shedding. Collie. I don't know if that includes border collies.
Down here it says, and for very active families, border collie.
Highly intelligent, athletic, hardworking, playful, and have lots of energy. You can attest to that.
They sure do.
Beagles. We also have 2 beagles at home.
That's awesome.
They are so much fun. They're starting to get out of that puppy stage. They're still kind of like to get into stuff, but not over the top.
Yeah.
And so they're a lot of fun. Oh man, we're having so much fun with them.
They're so cute.
Not high energy, so if you they're not as easily able to keep up with very active families, but easygoing, friendly, and sociable. Adapt well to small spaces,
like apartments.
Yeah. And then Newfoundland, I didn't know what those were.
They're big.
I describe them. I looked at the picture of them. A cross between a black lab and a Saint Bernard is what I.
But they're really big.
They're very, but let's see. Canine nannies. Giant dogs are incredibly gentle, patient, and sweet-natured. They need room for exercise, brushing, and grooming. world-class droolers.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently super gentle for families.
They're cute.
Yeah, they, like I said, they look like a cross between a Saint Bernard and a lab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boxer, entertaining goofballs is what it says.
Oh, they are.
Hours of playtime, laughter, and fun for your kids.
I had a boxer named Sandy, and she was
yeah.
pretty much the best thing ever.
Yeah. We had one, I forgot what her name was. It wasn't my dog, but we lived right behind our in-laws, and they had a boxer.
They're good dogs.
My wife might remember the name, but it escapes me.
Sandy used to jump on the trampoline with me.
The more attention they get, the happier they are. So,
Mm-hmm.
Bull Terrier, which that, you know what that dog is?
No.
You know the Target ads, they had that dog with Target on their eye? That's a Bull Terrier. So.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Let's see what it says about them. They have an unearned reputation as aggressive. They were bred to be companion dogs. Like the Bulldog and Beagle, the Bull Terrier is a sturdy playmate for young children. Okay. And this is a cool dog. I had to look it up. Vizsla.
Oh, yeah, I
Have
saw
you seen
that.
those?
Yeah, I looked it up.
And so they remind me kind of like a lab, but with shorter hair, I guess.
And don't they dock their tails?
Yeah, they dock their tail. They have I guess you wouldn't have to, but lots of energy, intelligent, obedient, easy to train, gentle. So obviously most of the breeds on here are gentle. So that's the list of, if you're thinking about getting a dog and you have small children, there's your list. And we'll post this on the show notes so you can review those. And so the long story of it is you just got to be diligent and kind of spend a little extra time either training or detraining them with swings and stuff. So your solution now is to like take the swings down when Daisy goes over to your mom's house.
Yeah.
For now, anyway.
They're actually bungee corded all together. Pretty much no one can go swinging when we're there.
Okay.
And we've been over there 3 times since we started that.
Okay.
And she could care less about the swings. No problems whatsoever. It is the swings.
Yeah.
So that's
so
awesome.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I know. Yeah.
I guess that movement and kicking in the aggressive play or something.
I mean, it's like you know how sometimes she runs weird little circuits? She'll like run the same pattern in your yard.
Yeah.
But she can do it so big that you think it's not a pattern, but if you watch her, it is a pattern.
She's hurting.
Yeah, we're supposed to stop that, and that'll also help with it. So pretty much she needs engaged playing all the time when she's around kids.
I need to get you a background set of that. That would be awesome to see.
That would be so awesome. And you know, my mom's so talented. She could totally whip one up. She is the best grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
She could do it.
She's a DIY girl.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. All right. I don't, anything else?
I do want to throw in that today is Daisy's 3-year gotcha day. So she is 3 years old and we're going strong and it's just really exciting.
Did you get her at like 8 weeks old?
Yeah. I think she was actually not like 9 or 10 weeks, but. Okay.
So I get gotcha day is when you actually got her.
Mm-hmm. I do not know her birthday.
Okay.
So I just do gotcha day.
Yeah. So the Beagles are coming up. They were born in September 23rd.
Oh, they're almost a year old.
They'll be a year old in September next month.
That is cute.
And they're growing, and they're almost full grown. I think they're about 25 pounds now.
Oh.
Yeah, they're getting big, but they're still a lot of fun and a lot of energy. All right. So happy gotcha day to Daisy, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. See you later.